evening, everyone. If you can hear me on the live stream, let me know, please, below in the chat. If you have problems with the sound or the quality of the video. So today I think will be maybe after this live stream, maybe I will do 1 or 2 live streams this year. December is for my job a very busy month. I have a lot to do with my work in December. So I don't know if I have the time in December to do a lot of streaming and editing. I'm planning to do maybe 1 video in December, but maybe also 1 live stream. Because with Christmas I cannot do this. I don't have the time. I have to do with Christmas a lot for my work. So anyway, before I start, quick wristwatch check. So today wearing this Racing Panda surfboard dial vintage watch. Amazing timepiece and chronograph from the 70s. You can see the surfboard dial, and it has a really nice hands. I think original it was red, but it's now a little bit more yellow. I think because of the age, but maybe it was already that color. So I hope everyone is doing well, especially in these times with the corona. Today I want to have a small Q&A. I hope some people will go also in the chat and ask me just questions. But if nobody is here to ask me, I can just talk a little bit like I do always. But I don't have really a subject for tonight. There is no topic I want to talk about tonight, only like a Q&A, so you can ask me, fire me your questions, and I want only one thing I want to talk about is maybe something I want to do in the future, and that is talking about not only my collection and the watches I have, but I want to give you the possibility to send images of your watches. So because nobody is now in the chat asking me questions, let's start with that. So when I started making videos about watches, I was on a watch forum, and some people are making jokes because I was making watch videos, and I didn't have a lot of watches. So they sent me pictures of their watches and asked me my opinion on those watches. So what do I want to do? I would like to do comparable videos like that, only different this time. People send me pictures of different kind of Rolex, Omega, Certina, Longines, Casio, and other brands. But most time I didn't have those watches in my hands. I don't know the build quality. I don't know the size just straight out of my head. I don't know how the watch looks like in real. I only have a picture. But when it's about Invicta, I visit very often the shop in Batavia stad, so in the Netherlands, and I've been several times also in Roosendaal, also in the Netherlands, but also the Invicta store there. So I have a lot of different Invictas. I've seen them. I tried them on my wrists. So when somebody asks me about a question about a venom, I have seen several venoms, only not every color variation, but I know how a venom looks like. Also, like because you have also the venom hybrids, and so you have also spin-offs of a lot of models. So you have the OG Magnum, but you have also now some new modern Magnums that are spin-offs of the original. So my question is, if you have a very nice Invicta collection, also vintage, I would like to get in contact with you by the mail, and you can send me like pictures, information, especially when it's about the vintage Invictas, when it's about older Invictas. I don't have seen those. I don't have seen every one of those older Invictas. I've found a lot of vintage Invictas in my collection, so I've seen a lot, but not everything. But if you have an Invicta vintage or modern, and you have a collection with some of them, I would love to get in contact with you and maybe have a small email conversation, and I will make a video of it, maybe a live stream, and I will show the pictures and have a chat on your collection. So how do you get in contact with me? Yes, you can email me here on info at invictawatchreview.nl. So if you really want to get your watch collection reviewed, send me an email. You can see it here, and just tell me what you have in your collection, and maybe send some pictures, especially when it's about the I know there are also a lot of people that has vintage Invictas, so if you have also a vintage Invicta, you can send me also pictures of it, because if you give me the model number, I cannot find anything on the internet. When it's about vintage Invictas, there's nothing on the internet. At least there's little. So because so far I know, I try to get a lot of those models on the internet, on my website, on some forums. So when people searching on Google, they will get to those forums, see the pictures, see some information about the movements, about the sizes, about the material that Invicta used to produce those watches. And so I try to help people to put just some information on the internet. So on my website, on some forums. So it's really quiet in the chat. Yes, I know I'm really late with getting that live stream on. Maybe I had to do that this afternoon. Maybe I had to put that I will go live this evening. But so again, if you're also an Invicta collector, you don't need to have a big Invicta collection. Even if you have one or two pieces, I would love to talk about it. So you can send me an email at info at invictawatchreview.nl, and I will bring your watch also in a live stream, and we have a chat about your collection. So I would love to do that. about my website. I always put my websites down below in the description. But my website is www.vintageinvicta.com. So it's really quiet. I think some months ago, I've seen a video on YouTube about some girl. I think she is on Twitch, and she answered the question, "What do you do in a live stream when nobody is there? Are you just waiting until somebody is coming, or you just do something?" So she advised in that video to just talk about something. And so, because when people later will see your live stream, they will just see that you're talking about something. I will pick up one of my boxes because I have now the time, and I will pick up some watches out of it, and I will just show you. So, let me put it here. And I will just tell something about the watch. So not of every watch I know the movements directly. I can look it up, but I think that's too much work to look it up right now. So first, let me see if I can get the lights right. So first I have this gold-plated, I think it is 10 micron gold-plated Invicta dress watch. So this one is also with the engraved dial with the fish. A lot of people really love the dial, but you cannot really see it very good on the camera. I need to buy another camera. So that's on my wish list for Christmas. Maybe in the new year you will see a sharper live stream. But it's on my wish list to get a better camera. I use my laptop and I have a built-in camera. But yeah, I think it's 720p. So it's not that sharp. Yes, for far, but when you want to see like objects like watches, it's not sharp to show them very nice. When I got this one, it was really a wreck. The rotor of this watch was missing. The gold plate was really off. The dial was really a lot of mud on it, so it was nothing. But I sent this one to one of my. I got one guy that do my almost all of my vintage Invicta watches, and that guy just also redo the gold plating and cleaning the dial and puts a new rotor on the movement. So the final product is very nice, but you can see that it was really busted, and you can still see it on the back of the case. It has a lot of scratches, but it's now wearable, and I think I love it. It doesn't get that much wearing time, but I still love it to see it when I hold it in my hands. So second, I have this one. A lot of people ask me every time to see my collection, so I will show now some of them. So I've done a video on this one already. So this is a triple date. You can see the design with some red and blue, also on the dates of the week and the month. So you have the day of the week and the month. So it's a very delicate watch. This one is 33 millimeters with some golden markers on every hour. Blued hands. So it's a very delicate watch. There's also some patina on the dial. It's a little bit creamy. Oh yes, the first one I showed. I think this one is from the 70s, and the triple date is from the 50s. This one, I think it's really difficult to show, but it has some little stripes on the dial, just going from the outside to the center. But with when I'm making pictures, this one is really difficult to make pictures, because I also try to use some program to make the picture somewhat sharper, but it will also make the lines sharper on the dial. So it's really difficult to make a good picture on this one. It's also always playing with the light. And also what's difficult is to get a good strap on this one. It has fixed lugs, so it's really difficult. Most when you have modern straps, leather straps, they don't have fixed lugs, or they are not made for fixed lugs. Just so I always need for this watch some strap with that I have to glue myself. That's the same as with this one. You've seen that one also, I think, very often, also on some pictures on Instagram, but also on a video. So this chronograph with the Londeron 47, or is it 46? Anyway, with the 3 buttons. So this one is a very old one from the 30s, with a very nice dial. But this one also has fixed lugs, so I use this one just on a NATO. So this one is also very small. They just like this one. This one is 34, and the chrono is also 34. What I like about the chrono is it's in a really good state. I'm just not really sure if it's if the dial is redone. Anyway, if it's redone, it's nicely done. So yeah, and it's typical the style it used to have before. And I really love that it has a special movement with the flyback function. The only thing is it's small. So with 34 millimeters is a really small, delicate watch, especially if you consider that modern Invictas are 50 millimeters or bigger most time. I think this one is really difficult to see. So some people would think this is a Datejust homage. Maybe it is, but you can see this kind of design in a lot of different kind of watches from that time. This one is from the 70s. So it's also an old watch, 50 years old. 39 millimeters with a nice sunburst dial. I see now on the on my phone that my watches are in mirror. So maybe I will have a look on my program if I can do the video, if I can change it so in the future it will go not mirror. So I have some left in this box that I will show you. So this one is it's a watch you can't miss. I lately posted a lot on Instagram. I did some videos on YouTube on it. Invicta did a reissue on this one. So this one from the 60s. Very nice watch with very nice pushers. Let me see if I can get it clear on the picture, on the camera. I really love the indices on this watch. The markers on every hour. I think when you're looking for a somewhat dressier vintage style watch, this is almost perfect. Sometimes you can find them for not that much money on the internet. Maybe for 300, 200. Yes, maybe if you consider that the movement is just a basic, generic movement that you can find in a lot of watches from this time. You can find some of those for 150, 200. So if you buy this watch for 300-400 euros, you can say that you're paying too much. But I think the design is very nice. So with those older Invictas, most time they use just generic movements that you can find in a lot of watches from a big range of prices. So sometimes they used very high-end movements, and sometimes just on the lower end of the watch market, just a budget movement, and they just stamp their own name on the movement in most time. Most time they just stamp their name on it on the movement, but they don't use they don't make in-house movements. So that's just the same as today, because the people are complaining about watchmakers that don't use their own movements. So they are complaining because you have Seiko and Rolex and Omega and some other manufacturers that use their own movements. But you have also a lot of watchmakers that don't do that. But in the past, there was no issue. It was no issue in the past if if a watch brand will choose their own movement, or they will buy a movement and put it in the watch. So that's very strange, because Invicta just doing like they did in the past. Yes, you can find Invictas with modified movements. I'm not talking about vintage, but also modern. But when it's about the vintage Invictas, you can find vintage Invictas with modified movements. You can find vintage Invictas with in-house movements. So yeah, you can. That's also you can find them. They are on the market. Also in triple date, only this one is gold. Also don't get a lot of wrist time. But when I hold it in my hands, I really love it. It's a very good condition. This one just had a surface. So it's also a small watch, 33 millimeters. Hand winder. Inside is an ETA, I'm not sure, ETA 53? I'm not sure, but it's a triple date. I have to look it up. So the last one in this watch box. Also a watch from the 70s, a diver with a screw down crown. I don't know what the movement is of this watch. So this one will get some watch time because it's a little bit bigger, 40 millimeters. But it doesn't, when it's on my wrist, it doesn't look like 40 millimeters because it has some small locks, or it doesn't have any lock. You can also say that because it's really, you can see it has almost no lock. So very nice applied indices on this one. I really like overall the design on those. It's very similar to the Royal Marine I showed earlier. The indices looks very similar. I think it's because of from the same time, from the 70s. So I just keep all those old watches inside this Invicta box. So I will end this stream within some minutes. So again, I just started the stream with the Q&A, but because I was lonely, I just did a video showing off some of my watches, and maybe in the future I will pick up another box. I have some boxes here, 1, 2, 3. I've still 4 boxes left, I think, here above. So I can show more timepieces. But just like I asked some minutes ago, if you want to in a live stream, if you want to do me, I want to do in one of my live streams a collection review. So if you have Invictas. It can be vintage or modern, and you would love that I will do a review on them or just show them off on the live stream, just send me an email to info@invictawatchreview.nl. Oh, now you can see it. info@invictawatchreview.nl. So, and just send me an email, and we can have a chat by email, and you can send me maybe some pictures and some information on the watch, especially if it's vintage. But anyway, I want to thank everyone for. I want to thank. If you're watching this video, I want to thank you for watching. And if you like this video, give it a thumb up. Subscribe down below. Don't forget to put on the bell icon, because if you forget to put on the bell icon, you can miss maybe my next live stream. I want also to announce next week I will not do a live stream. Next week it's my birthday, so I will not do a live stream. At least I think. Maybe if I have the time, I will do a very, very, very short live stream or short video, just because it's my birthday. But I don't think I have the time to do a video or a live stream. So I want to thank everyone for watching, and maybe I see you in the next one. Bye bye.